All right, it's Tuesday, July 2nd. I'm very excited. We are 2 days into the second half of 2024. All right. This is about deep dive. We want to really deep dive into our financial statements to really get a good understanding of some clarity, some costs, some break even, and really that's what this is about, is your break even. So what I'm going to teach you today is how to calculate that break even and the importance of having some clarity with your financial statements and making sure that things are categorized correctly. They all fall in the right spot. You have your cost of goods sold in its category, and you have your administrative costs and so forth. So really what it boils down to is we have a P&L statement. And then in that P&L, you're going to have revenue, you're going to have cost of goods sold, you're going to have a gross profit, you're going to have administrative cost, and you're going to have net operating income. So having a clean set of books and having things categorized and organized within your chart of accounts, you're going to be able to have some real clarity with putting all this together. So from here, we're going to need this number, we're going to need this number, we need all of these different numbers to be able to calculate our break-even point. So really what the break-even point is your fixed cost divided by your gross profit margin, which is a percentage. And so that's how we calculate that. That's a pretty simple calculation. What I like to do is go down here to what is my goal profit that I want to have for just being in business. So let's say our fixed costs are 100 and I want to make 10 on everything. And I'm just going to assume that my cost of goods sold are 60%, so my gross margin percentage is 40%. So what we do is we add those two together and multiply that, and that comes out to, we have to have revenue of 275 to be able to pay for that break even. So this is our cost, and that's the revenue that we need to generate to meet that cost, including the 10 in profit that we want to make. So how do we get this number right here? We come back over here to our cost of goods sold. So revenue minus your cost of goods sold gives you that gross profit. So you take your gross profit and divide that by revenue, and that's going to give you that gross margin percentage, also called contribution margin. And that's where I got this 40%. Graphically, what that looks like is we have our fixed right here. We have our variable. So every time you incrementally add another, make another unit, or you provide another additional hour of service, or however you calculate your services and products that you sell, you do add that additional cost. So if this is 110, and we want to find out what that break even is, so our revenue comes up like so. And so this is our break even point, which that would be 275. So this is really just X2 units. And let's say we want to calculate, how do we get to that point? How many units do we need to produce, or how many additional hours of service do we need to produce to be able to make this kind of profit out here? So it's pretty exciting. Deep dive going into looking at your financial statements and getting some clarity in your organization is super important, so that you can go back to your team and start making some adjustments and put together your metrics